Go raw under raw, I say. Mama Seta, Ashidu Ashite Ashawan vibration. Every baka, may your mind, bakas, and souls be old. May your omits be sound, may your bakas be leaven off ground. When we keep to the breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul of raw guides and keeps you old. I Anma, I say Ra, Ella E say El say I, Christ or a chaplain, Tata Amen Ra. I am truth awareness, true talk. Can be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma Elth. That's intelligence, Samanology, Ta'angodu. This is sound logic, and with all that offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice to raise. Ray 1849. Go to Google, go to Apple, download the Kagodora app, go to Jesus.com. That's GESOOS.com. SAVbysound.com can get you there too. AminRod.com can get you our apparel. Buy some books, buy some clothes, there's some apparel. You got to wear what the devil's fair. You can order the poster right to your door, or at Jesus.com. You can download that file, take it to your local printer. You can get the version that you can put the rings on and hang it up on your wall, or you can get the poster. Either way, go get it. I don't consent to draconian state. Hashtag that in your post. Thoughts to sport that spawns intelligence.fungi.org. Your mental health is directly tied to your etheric compass. You got to retether yourself to Ba'am, that sound logic solarization. This is what we do. Get access to the erectionary. We got the Ta'angodu sound logic decoding search engine. Because words in the dictionary die your erection, we counter that with the Ta'angodu decoding. Because we speak motion. Don't forget the crypto shit shower report. We remind you that the blockchain is not a financial umbrella that you can hold and prevent a shithead. This is the Kagodora update. All right, so we're starting off 1849. Okay, so this is gematria. So what I am looking at is how, the Draco, how it is used in the occult. Okay, so this is a cube day, a Saturn type day. Okay, you don't have to worry about Saturday. You gotta recognize and realize that this master word program is trying to simulate, right? So it's mirroring, it's attached to the master source of motion. Okay, and that would be Ra. All right, and so fortunately we have the Kagodora that keeps track and keeps count of the motion, okay, of the Oshu. And Teray, we're looking at 4, right? So you can interpret that any way you want to. However the gematria works for you. You know that today is a ray that you can utilize, okay? You can utilize that energy. Also, we have the sound command, one of 13. It is so-ah. All right? And so yesterday it was do-ah. Before then it was go-ah. And before then it was ka-ah. All right? Before then it was ba-ah. And then before then it was say-ah. Before say-ah it was ta-ah. Okay? And before ta-ah it was shoot-ah, ra-ah, and ba-ah. Okay? And so that is a command of motion, okay, that it, requires, to create, matter. It's a process, okay? So all of these sound commands remind you, lead you, to what your energy should be focused on. So today would be a seed planting day, an investment day, right? A day that you're going to work towards, tomorrow. All right? You're going to try to, do something that's going to benefit you, not necessarily now, other than the emotion, the physical benefits, may, are for the future. All right? Because this is what's happening to you. Okay? All this energy is being sown in you. Okay? So you have to do what has been done to you by the ether. All right? And so, of course, Teray is 1849. Okay? So what we're going to start to do is we're going to go and ask AI. In this case, we're going to utilize DeepSeek, and we're going to find out what happened in the year 1849. Okay, because with our Kagodora and our rays, we now have the exact ray that we could go back, time travel, which is thought, so we could see what the thinking was in the year 1849. Okay, the next time we can go back to 1849 would have been in solar cycle 24. Okay, so of course, the year 1849 wouldn't have been the 1849th ray or day of that cycle. Of course, it wouldn't have been. But because Dracos are using their calendar, and in their calendar it was 1849, that's what they go by, and we trump it because we have the real time. Okay? I hope all that made sense. So now we're going to go to DeepSeek, and we're going to have a little explore and discovery on what was going on in the year 1849. Okay, and so if you remember that video that I posted in October the 7th, when Donald Trump announced that he wanted to resurrect the Insurrection Act, he did that on October the 7th, which ironically was the 1807th ray or day of solar cycle 25. Okay? And so whether they're reading the Kagodora, utilizing Kagodora or not, they knew to utilize that date. So since the seed was planted on that day, okay, or that ray, I'm taking it that on the year 1867, which is the ray 1867, we're going to have, some kind of event. And so that's between November the 27th to December the 2nd. All right, so here's the question. What were the significant events of 1849? Okay, we see political and revolutions in Europe. The wave of revolutions that began in 1848 continued, but in 1849 was largely the year these movements were crushed. Okay? End of Roman Republic. One of the most dramatic events after Pope fled Rome, Italian nationalists like Giuseppe Mazzini and Giuseppe Garibaldi proclaimed a secular Roman Republic in February 1849. However, in the French army sent to restore the Pope's temporal power, besieged and violently captured Rome in July, ending the Republic and restoring Pope Pius the 9th or maybe 11th. I don't know how to read those normal Roman numbers. I think that's the 11th. I don't know. Hungarian revolutions crushed. The Hungarian revolutions led by Lajos Kossuth achieved significant success and even declared independence from Habsburg Empire in April 1849. However, facing overwhelming odds, the Hungarian army was decisively defeated with the help of the Russian army sent by Tsar Nicholas I. The rebellion was brutally suppressed by August. The Dresden Uprising, May 1849, the last gasp of the German revolutions in the Kingdom of Saxony. Republicans and liberals took the barricades. The composer Richard Wagner actively participated. The uprising was quickly put down by Russian troops. All right, so that was pretty significant in that year, right? And so it looks, like a lot of civilian revolt or whatever was calmed down. Okay, was dealt with in that year. Okay, and so this could be part of the politics that's happening. We wonder how and why all of a sudden the White House is back in government, right? So maybe these are the things so they can start conjuring up policies and things like that they can maybe recontinue these types of events, okay? Give them life. The California Gold Rush, okay? So I'm not going to continue to read too much. The sparked gold was discovered in Southern Hills mill in Coloma, California. The 49ers in 1849, hundreds of thousands of prospectors, merchants, and adventurers from across the United States and the world, including China, Europe, and Latin America, flooded to California. Impact: the gold rush led to rapid American settlement. Okay, California. All right, so we could look at what's happening in California on today, right? Any events, any policies happening, right? Some of these things we wouldn't even know, right? We wouldn't even know it's happening. Okay. United States politics. Zachary Taylor inaugurated hero of the Mexican-American War. Zachary Taylor was inaugurated in the 12th as the 12th president of the United States on March the 4th, 1849. That's very interesting. The slavery debate intensifies. Discovery of gold in California and the acquisition of new Western territories from Mexico forced the issue of slavery to frontline American politics, setting the stage of the Compromise of 1850. Well, it's funny because tomorrow is 1850. Okay, tomorrow literally is 1850. Okay, so we got a clue. Tomorrow is going to be something to do with slavery. Guaranteed. Okay, so right here. Tomorrow we're at Ria, and it's also a Ria. So that means something is going to be continued. Something that happened, or something that's going to happen is going to be given breath. Okay, because that's what Re is infinity. To give everlasting breath. So whatever you sow in here is going to be given the breath to continue. Okay? You got that, people. So that would be a day which would be very suited to do some kind of ritual that would be around slavery. Okay? So that slavery could be basically the humanic policies. Okay? So it doesn't really matter if it falls on a Saturday or not. Okay? Things are always being done, and we can now look for that. Okay, so how is that going to impact the markets? Well, we'll have to wait and see. This is not the crypto shit shower update. All right, so science, technology, and exploration. That was also big. Elizabeth Blackwell becomes the first female doctor in the U.S. All right. The Apothecaries Act in Britain. The act established clear educational and professional standards for pharmacists in Britain, a key moment in the professionalization of medicine. All right, and so we know how medicine usurped a lot of, what we call organic, but we're now going to be calling raw, because raw is the solar system. Right? And so if it's not raw made, meaning as is, then it is like raw, which is organic, because raw creates the ore. Okay? So anyways, there could be a lot of things to perpetuate, the use of synthetics, over raw culture and literature. Okay? Big shit. Public, David Copperfield, death of Edgar Allan Poe, October 7th, 1849. Summary. In short, 1849 was a year of dramatic conclusion and explosive beginnings. In Europe, it was the year that fires of the 1848 revolutions were largely extinguished by conservative forces. So when they say fires, this means public uprising. Okay, so they cool them down in that year. Okay, so this is a year and a time and a day that they could be doing something, which was yesterday, which is still today, still 1848 until noon, November the 15th. They could be doing a lot of things to, try to, continue, to have the corporation control the souls. Okay? In America, it was the year that California gold rush began, fundamentally altering the nation's demographics and economy. In science and culture, it was the year of pioneering firsts, Blackwell, and tragic lasts, Poe. All right, so there we have the Mathorian Kagodora update for today. Once again, it is 1849 for go to Google, go to Apple, download the app. You can access this go to jesus.com. You can download the file as a sign-up bonus. You don't have to pay anything financially. You can get that on the 30-day guest pass, speculator's pass, along with the iBucket to Omen. You could also access the Mathorian Kagodora at mathor.org. All right, you can get access to the timer, but you know, for many reasons, including supporting sound logic and the development of this app, because this app is far from developed. These are all dead links, right? You can't click them, or you can click them, but they're not going to go anywhere, right? There's a lot of things I would like to do and develop. So please, you know, go down and buy the app, or go buy a membership at jesus.com. All right. So it is 4:55, or actually it's probably more than that now. Let me refresh the screen. There you go. It's 5:51. All right. So we got six more dues left. Okay, 6 more dues left. Okay. So by this time tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be 18:50. And we'll talk to you then. Tanka.